What's good, Panthers Nation? If you're watching this, it's probably the bye week, so you need something to talk about. And what I want to talk about in this video today is, can the Panthers make a stretch run on this back end after the bye week, win the NFC South, and actually go to the playoffs for the first time since 2017? Can you believe it? So before we get into that, my name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk recap and analysis of the Panthers and NFL. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button as well. Really helps me out in the algorithm. I do content pretty much all the time, film breakdowns, live streams, whatever, stuff like this as well. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss anything with the bell icon, okay? So let me know down below in the comments first before we get into the details if you think the Panthers will win the NFC South. Yes, I know it's an ugly division, it's whatever. It doesn't matter what the record is. As long as we get in, just get me there. Crazy things happen when you get into the wild card. You can make things happen. We saw the Bengals last year with the worst O-line in the NFL. Pretty average to below average defense. They just got lucky, not lucky, but hot at the right time. Made some plays, got to a Super Bowl, almost won it. So anything can happen. You just have to get in the playoffs. And we haven't had competitive football, and with the chance of having a home game for the Panthers in the playoffs, I think that this is the right thing to do. I don't give a damn about your tank. I don't give a damn about drafting the quarterback. We can trade up and do whatever. Things are going to play out how they're going to play out. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can predict who's going to win this division. So I'm going to show you the schedules and give you the reasons why I think the Panthers will. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, the Panthers, we know that they have this late bye week. A lot of other teams in the division do as well. Two other teams in the division as well. But we know currently right now the Panthers are one win back in the winning column, I guess, as far as first place. We know that they have the one leg up on the Bucs. They split already with the Falcons, and they've beat the Saints once. So that means obviously they have to play the Bucs and the Saints one more time down the stretch. It's going to be interesting, man, because every week is going to be crucial. This situation is going to be very fluid as far as who is what. But I think the Panthers being currently 3-1 in the division helps them a lot. So I want to look at these schedules real quick. But looking at the remaining schedule for these teams, I have a graphic right here that shows, according to Tankathon, the Carolina Panthers have the easiest remaining strength of schedule for any team in the division. You can see the Panthers right here at 30, and the Falcons at 29, Bucs at 25, and the Saints have the hardest down the stretch. And you can see the toughest opponents for all these guys. We have the Seahawks, the Falcons have the Ravens, Bucs have the Niners and the Bengals left, and the Saints have to play the Super Bowl favorite, who is the Eagles. So clearly the Panthers have the easiest track when it comes to that. Obviously, they're going to play each other. So with everybody having a losing record, it really makes the strength of schedule remaining very, very low. But I think that the Panthers showing that they've beat all these teams. The fact that they're running the ball is getting cold outside now. And a lot of the opponents that the Panthers face are not good against the run. Obviously, we'll look at the schedule right here in a second, but they have a lot of teams that are vulnerable against the run, and we know the Panthers right now, they're running the ball, they're really sticking to it, trying to minimize mistakes, playing great defense. We know Sam Darnold is the quarterback, and it can seem a little bit tough to root for Sam and believe in Sam. Me personally, that's how I feel. You may feel a little bit different about Sam, but the way he looked against the top defense in the Broncos, he looked decent. He missed a lot of opportunities. If you missed my film breakdown, I'll link it up in the card above so you can see how Sam looked and evaluated that. I did a full film breakdown about what Sam can improve on and how he did. But maybe with a little bit more experience, that was his first game, getting a little bit better, especially with a lighter schedule down this back stretch. Maybe Sam can whip himself into shape and get us into the playoffs, man, and get us the division title, man. That'd be awesome for me. If Sam can do it, he'll do it. I don't believe in him, but crazier things have happened. This is the NFL. It's a week-to-week league. That's why we watch this thing. This is not college. This is not, you can win games on paper. You can't really think too far ahead. We're just doing it hypothetically right now because we have a bye week. We don't have a game this week. So that's what I'm doing it for. But we know with the new coach, Steve Wilks, he wants to play a tough defense and commit to the run. That bodes well as it gets cold. So let's go ahead and look at this remaining schedule for all the teams. I created this cute little graphic. I call it cute. Yes, I did call it cute because I made it myself. Looks real professional, like, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot, beat. Look at the Panthers. They have the bye week right now at the Seahawks, Steelers, Lions, at the Bucs, and at the Saints. So it's 3 road games, and they finished 2 on the road. This last game, that final week, is going to be crazy because look at everybody. It's all divisional games. The Bucs play the Falcons. The Saints play us, obviously. It's going to be crazy. That week 18 matchup for all NFC South is going to be one of those ones that it could possibly be on the line amongst somebody. We know we're all pretty much tight as far as records wise, so every week is going to be crucial. The Bucs have already had their bye. As you can see, they have the Saints at the Niners. And we know the Saints kind of pretty much have their number, even though the Saints aren't that great this year. They don't look good. They tend to always have Tom Brady's number for some reason. I don't know why. Marshawn Lattimore, if he plays, he just tends to own Mike Evans. We've seen that. We've seen the fights and stuff like that. Regardless, we know the 49ers defense is crazy. If the Panthers defense shut them down and held them to 3, the Niners defense is on a whole other level. They will be able to do some things, especially out there on the West Coast. The Bengals, we know they've been playing great as well. They have Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is coming back this week. They're going to be tough too. The Cardinals, not really worried about them, but the Bucs, they're not a great team, so who knows what's going to happen in that game. Obviously, the Panthers and the Falcons game they had last week will be a tough one for sure, okay? So just looking at their schedule, I would have thought, obviously the record doesn't say the same thing, but I would have thought that the Bucs had the toughest schedule out of anybody on this list, in my opinion, but that's just the way I look at it, the way I feel. Now, the Saints, obviously, like I said, the Bucs, and they got their bye. They got the Falcons, that little rivalry game that they have going on. You never know what's going to happen in that game. The Browns, the Eagles, and the Panthers. I don't think the Saints' schedule is that hard, but according to strength of schedule on Tankathon, it seemed like it. The Bucs, toss up, but I think they have the Bucs number. The Falcons, they got lucky against the Falcons this year. The Falcons blew a lead, doing what they do in their first opening week game. So who knows what's going to happen in that game? Browns, they can run the ball a lot. Deshaun Watson will be back. This will be his 4th game back. So he could be in a good spot at that point. Who knows what the Browns will look like at that point. Obviously, the Eagles are a juggernaut. Then we got we got the Saints on the last week. The Panthers do. So the Panthers have beaten them before, shut them down. Who knows who's going to be the quarterback? Will it be Andy? Will it be Jameis? Who knows? But the Panthers beat them with Baker Mayfield. So who knows what's going to happen there, but I like the Panthers' chances against any team in this division. Now look at the Falcons schedule real quick. The Steelers this week, this will be a tough game. If they lose to the Steelers, that's going to throw a lot of things because the Falcons are still technically ahead of the Panthers right now in the rankings for the division. But if the Steelers win, I think that's going to set up perfectly for the Panthers, because that's what you just need, some of these trip-up games to happen, because we expect the Saints game to be tough. Hopefully the Ravens will do their thing. The Cardinals, they're a toss-up as well, and then they play the Bucs. So you just never know what's going to happen, but with a lot of scrutiny going on with Arthur Smith and wanting to play Desmond Ridder, who knows? Kyle Pitts just went on IR, even though he hasn't been utilized this year. The Falcons are just a mixed bag because they run the ball so great, but they're just not impressive on the outside when it comes to throwing the ball. So, but running the ball, like I said, bodes well. They just don't have the defense like the Panthers do to aid with that formula. So you can see everybody's schedule here, and obviously ours, the bye week at the Seahawks. That's the tough one, but everyone else is a very winnable game. The Lions, they've been playing very competitive. The Steelers have a great defense. That'll be the only team that's not good. As good against stopping the run. They're number 9 against the run, but everybody else is bottom 3rd in the league stopping the run. So I do like the Panthers' chances as far as an offensive game plan, and hopefully, Sam Darnold will be able to open things up and improve as we get down the stretch if he's going to end up being the guy. That's another thing. Will P.J. Walker come back? What's going to happen? If Sam is playing well enough, P.J. will probably remain a backup. Steve Wilks is in the move for going with the high hand. Steve Wilks is trying to win the division and get that job. I think if Steve Wilks wins the division, probably gonna, even if he has a losing record, even if he end up 8-9, a win is a win. It's a division trophy. I think a playoff game is what Tepper wants to see. David Tepper has not seen a playoff game in his ownership. We went to the playoffs the year before he bought the team in 2017. He has not seen a playoff game for this team, let alone at Bank of America Stadium. If he sees that if they win a division, he sees that electric atmosphere in the stadium, regardless of what the Panthers' record is. If they win a division and host a home playoff game, which is what happens when you win your division, you get at least one home playoff game. He's going to fall in love with that atmosphere no matter the outcome, and I think Steve Wilks will be retained as the permanent head coach. If Steve Wilks does that and gets to the playoffs, I think Steve Wilks could be a candidate for Coach of the Year. He's had a big enough body of work with Matt Rule getting fired in Game 4 of this year that I think that it's a good enough chance that he may, if they win a division and they go to the playoffs, it's going to happen. But that's just a whole other topic for another day. We'll get in that probably in a separate video here shortly. But you guys let me know how you feel after looking at the numbers of the strength of schedule, after looking at the actual schedules. What do you believe? I told you guys before, I have a ticket right here. I went to Cherokee, North Carolina, the casino, for all my people that's local, and I put money down on the Panthers to win the NFC South. I did this on November 5th, the beginning of November, and I win $500 if it happens. So prayers up, fingers crossed, whatever you want to do. I got my toes crossed. You just can't see it. Nevertheless, I hope this thing works out for us. But you guys let me know how you feel down below in the comments about the squad and about our chances. If you want them to go for the playoffs, do you think they should just lose and get a quarterback? Are you of that weird nature, I guess, whatever? But let me know how you feel down below. Without further ado, I'm signing off, man. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.